Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at Operation Monster Force Dracula and Mummy Guy. He's called Forgotten King, I believe. Is that what his name is? Yes. The Forgotten King, or just Forgotten King. These are some kind of interesting thing. I don't have any information on these other than they asked if I wanted to review them. And so I said yes, because I know a lot of you guys might be interested in this sort of thing. But it's Fresh Monkey Fiction and Big Bad Toy Store. You can see the Big Bad Toy Store there, and Fresh Monkey Fiction over there. I don't know, I don't know who's designing these, who's producing. I don't know anything other than those are the names associated with it, and these are the figures. And I'm going to review them for you guys. They are available for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. They're not due to come out for like 2 months. I don't know if they're going to drop early, if they have all of their stock, or if they just have review samples. I don't have any information other than the link in the description below. That's it. So the rest is up to you, and I'm going to review them. So let's go ahead and get them off the stand and take a closer look. Okay, before we look at the figures, I will show you my package, and I'll make one more note. I have all of Wave 1. I'm going to review them in bunches like this because you'll notice there's a lot of reuse, and I think we can knock 2 birds out with 1 stone that way. That way I can get these reviews done in time for you to pre-order if you should choose to do that. So the packaging is nice, good photograph on the front, good logo on the front. They are flappy boxes, so if you like seeing your figure inside, you won't see all that, you'll see the figure. Nice Velcro, nice window, comic on the inside cover. I imagine it's different for each one. Yep, there you go. So, nice packaging. It does have the figure's name all over the place, other than on the very front, just the artwork there. And then on the back, I thought they screwed up because it says the Forgotten King on this one, which is that guy, but it also says it here, but that's just the main story gist. A little confusing at first, but I figured it out pretty quick. But yeah, you get some more photos and you can see some other things in the line. Do I have all of these? I imagine I do. 1, 2, 3, that's 6. 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing one. I might be missing this guy. Or this guy. I don't know. Either way, I'll be reviewing all the ones they sent, which there's a few. Alright, so there's the packaging. Nice packaging. We'll talk about this briefly as we go over the heights. These guys come in at about $37, I think it is. And they are, let's see, they are just shy of 6.5 inches, so about, we'll just call him 6.5, he's pretty darn close. That's going to make him about 16.5 centimeters, and these two guys are the same, other than the tips of his helmet. So they are going to be your Marvel Legends 1/12 scale, they fit in just fine, and as far as I can tell, these guys are designed to be basically premium Marvel Legends style figures. I think of Valorverse when I see these guys. I have never handled those figures, but these look like they fit in with that. So that I could be wrong, but you guys can correct me because I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you've seen those also. But they do seem to be basically premium Marvel Legends style figures. And at 37 bucks, I think they're at the right price point, and we'll see if you guys think so by the end of the review. So, I wanted to do these guys together because they are mostly the same figure, obviously different heads and different colors, different vest. Otherwise, unless I've missed something, they are the same. Just a white, kind of fancy suited body with some military boots, old style military boots to go with it. So I'm going to show you the aesthetic on both of these guys, and then we'll just use one of them for the articulation, and I'll show you all of the accessories because there are a ton. But let's first look at Mr. Dracula. He has quite a cool looking coat. I like this a lot, and they executed it really well. That pattern on that vest is really nice. The red, it's meant to look worn and kind of tattered, so that's good. I like the way they did that. Love the head sculpts on these guys. You'll see his alternate head in a minute, but very nicely done. The finish on these figures, it's basically flat to satin all the way around, so that's a good thing, I think. Looks very nice on both of these guys. His buttons got painted. His did not because he's wearing all black, but he also didn't get the lapel painted, so obviously there's some trade-off here and there. Fancier vest, fancier neck thingy, but still very, very good-looking figures if you ask me, and the proportioning's not bad. I think maybe the heads are a little high, but maybe not. They seem a little high to me, but some people have long necks, I guess. Maybe both of these guys do. But yeah, I love the head sculpts. So let's get back to that because that's the main distinguishing factor here. This guy looks really nice. Paint job is clean on the eyes, on the mouth, on the beard. Very pleased with that. And this guy's head, I think, is just really cool. That's a good, cool look. It's like a futuristic alien mummy looking, sarcophagus looking thing. I don't know. Very cool looking, very clean paints. I was surprised at how clean they were. This is an indie company as far as I know. I mean, like I said, maybe Fresh Monkeys made other stuff. Are they the ones that did the Santa Claus ones? The Santa figures? I don't know. But they're indie in some right, at least. And these are really nicely done. You can see the buttons are nice and clean. Even underneath his vest, his belt is painted properly. So, very cool. They look good. I like the sculpt. I like the paint. Happy with that. So aesthetically speaking, I will go, I'll still say 8 out of 10. I think we could do just a little bit of shading. I mean, they look fine, especially with the flat finish, but particularly the white one, I think a little bit of shading would go a long way because he's just very stark white. I mean, I guess that's kind of a look you could go for too, but they're both just very plain in that they mostly are wearing all black and all white. So a little shading wouldn't hurt. Now, as far as accessories go, there's a lot. We'll start with Dracula. He doesn't have as much. They get these cool stands that look like tombstones if you stand them up. They do have the engraved logo there and some pegs, so you can lay them down, and when you lay them down, you get the printed name on there also. So Dracula has that. He has the alternate head, which is the angry head, which is a really, really good sculpt. Really clean paints except for one eye, slightly off center, but still pretty good. A good variety of hands, probably everything you would need, except his gripping hands are not a vertical hinge. The trigger finger hands are, but the gripping hands are not. That sucks. But his sword is one of the nicest swords at this scale that I have seen, and I'm not exaggerating. It's very well done. The details in the sculpt work for the hilt and the pommel, very intricate for the size. I was not expecting that. And there's painted eyes on the bottom, and then there's a little bit of shading at the top by the wings. It's surprisingly well done. So that's pretty cool. So those are Dracula's accessories. I would say 8 out of 10. That's plenty. And then for the mummy guy, Forgotten King, he's got the same kind of display stand thing. And then he's got 3 sets of hands. He's got one set of normal hands, one set of kind of like combat glove hands, and then one set of transparent blue hands. So plenty of options there. You do get some transparent, I guess they're teal, transparent accessories. Those are pretty cool. I like how transparent they are. That's nice. And then you get his staff, which is really well detailed, like loads and loads of detail, just like the sword for Dracula. Lots of paint, lots of sculpt, all very clean. And you can pop the top off if you want and turn it into just kind of a weapon sort of thing. So, yeah, that's a good spread. I'll go 9 out of 10 for that because he has so many hands. So many hands. No alternate head, though. Maybe they'll give you something to see what's underneath this helmet in a different release. So yeah, good spread of accessories so far. Good looking figures so far. And considering that some Marvel Legends that are standard releases cost this much, I think we're doing okay. But let's keep going. Should we use Dracula or Mummy Guy? Let's use Mummy Guy. It's hard to film white, but it's also hard to film black. And I think we got a good white balance and a good everything else going. So we'll do the white. All right. So for the head, I have bad news. Unfortunately, I mean, it's kind of bad news. Depends what you like, I guess. We have this type of joint, which just rubs me the wrong way. Luckily, they did do the one thing that can save this type of joint, and that is let the neck be articulated. Now, it's not the best thing ever. If you lean it back too far, if you really force it, you can see the cut underneath there, which obviously you have to really force it. But the neck moving does save that joint quite a bit, so I'm glad they did that at least. This guy does have this here, so come on. He does have this here, so that's going to get in the way of some posing. But these are soft, so you don't have to worry about them breaking. But yeah, you can pose them around pretty well, thanks to that ball peg. So good on them for doing that. Bad on them for putting the hinge in there, but this will be a fine combination. I don't think most people will have a problem. Dracula, same thing. Although I couldn't get his neck to move. It's probably just stuck. It's wiggling some, but I can't get it to move. But yeah, you can definitely get some decent posing done on the neck, so that's okay. Shoulders, butterfly joint. Not dissimilar to Marvel Legends. In fact, the engineering looks almost identical. Granted, these guys have jackets on, so you're not getting a ton of range, but it is in there, so that's good. It looks just like Marvel. Actually, it looks like G.I. Joe Classified, honestly. But it is in there, if you like that sort of thing. And then for the hinge itself, horizontal, so that's pretty much standard. You are, of course, going to get your full rotation, your bicep swivel, double-jointed elbow, pinless, and decent range, no problems there. They do have PVC caps on the elbows, so, or at least I think they do. If they don't, they just painted them and it's not coming off, so that's good. Either way, they match, so that's nice. Wrists are on swivels and hinges, like I already showed you. Torso articulation, I don't know if there's anything under here. If there is, forget about it. But you do get a ball peg at the waist to get some extra movement out of there and rotation. So there's that. Now for the hips, they have drop downs, but they don't drop down very far. Just a little bit, so I don't know how that's going to work. Let's find out. Bringing the leg forward, comes up at an angle. You're going to have to come up at an angle and then use the thigh swivel, which is fine. It still brings the leg out to the side some, but not too bad. And he does get up to horizontal, so it's not the best thing in the world, but I guess they opted for a tighter sculpt, cleaner sculpt in there, so can't really fault them for it. That's a preference thing. But yeah, so the leg goes up, it comes out to the side some. Going out to the side, even with the jacket. Well, if you do one leg, I guess you could get both out there pretty far, even with the jacket. It is starting to come apart over here a little bit. But the range is there, so if you have one of the ones that doesn't have the jacket, which I'll be reviewing those too, you get decent range. I wouldn't have minded a cut right down here, and you could obviously do that on your own, but cutting it right there would give you better range. But it's there, so that's not bad. Thigh swivel is fine, and then double jointed knees. Joints are tight. On the knees. On both of these guys, the joints were really, really tight. But you get decent range. It's not the best looking thing in the world. Decent range. There is a boot swivel on them, and it feels like it's going to flex and pop off like Marvel Legends as you're doing the knee, but none of mine popped off. So you get your boot swivel, that's good. Ankles go pretty far back, pretty far forward. Yeah, that's far enough. And then you have a solid ankle rocker. So I stand by what I said at the beginning when I was guessing that they were basically premium Marvel Legends style figures. That's what they seem to be. I'll give the articulation 7 on these guys. The jackets get in the way a lot. They don't have torso articulation. Arms are it's all pretty much standard articulation. Nothing crazy at all. But it's fine. It'll definitely be okay. So, time for the final verdict on these two guys. The first two figures I'm reviewing of the Monster Force line. I'm curious if the other ones will be better or worse. Different bodies altogether, I think. I guess they could share crotches or something, but these ones I'm happy with. I like the spread of accessories. It's probably more than necessary, so that's a good thing. They have a really nice aesthetic. I like the paint finish a lot. The matte to satin finish is a good thing. The head sculpts are wonderful. The paint jobs are clean. The articulation is unimpressive, but adequate. So I'm going to give these guys an overall rating of, for $36 for an indie company, I'm going to go 9 out of 10. These are pretty darn good. If these are what you're looking for, these are the ones you should get. They are very solid releases. I can't think of anything that stands out as being a real problem. Things that could be better. You know, throw a little bit of shading on there. Get a little bit more range out of articulation here and there, but that's about it. So, yeah, I'm pleased with these. If you are into Marvel Legends, you could definitely add these into your collection, or G.I. Joe, or any of those things. And these will make those look not as good, because these look pretty darn good. And do remember, guys, if you want to check these out, there is a link in the description below. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.